base hit left field. Jones can really throw. And it will be on target but late. And the Royals get a 2-out run in the top of the first inning and put an end to that long scoreless drought on the road.
Y'all, I just got to level with you to start off this recap. What an awful tone setter for this Colorado Rockies series from the Kansas City Royals. What in many facets. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Just two facets. Namely John Schreiber and this lineup. Let's talk about it, shall we? Welcome to the Royals Recap. My name is Jacob Milham. I'm one half of the Royals Rundown podcast. Tonight, I'm coming to you minutes after the final pitch in Kansas City's 4-2 loss against the 31-57 Colorado Rockies. And I get it, these bad teams are going to get their wins every now and then, but this was yet another game that the Royals squandered. They squandered their opportunities. They squandered a great 7-inning, 2-run start from Cole Ragans, striking out 8 in the process. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit. Especially when the lineup doesn't hold up their end of the bargain in Denver, Colorado. I get it. Kyle Freeland's been good since coming back from the IL. Don't let his overall season numbers fool you. He's had a good handful of starts. But these Royals can't do any damage against two bullpen arms from the Colorado Rockies. A prime opportunity to at least score a run, if not tie, if not take the lead in the top of the 9th inning, with Nick Lofton and Freddie Fermin standing on first and second, respectfully. And no outs. And how does it go? Garrett Hampson strikes out. Iron Blanco pops out. Michael Garcia grounds out. What are you going to do? Well, right now I'm fairly frustrated. And, this is... I think that if this was a 1-run loss, let's say Freddie came around and scored, and the final score is 4-3 Rockies, I think we would be talking about that awful home run call. Just terrible. But we're not going to talk about that. Because at the end of the day, the Royals are the one who lost this. It wasn't the replay guys back in New York. That wasn't the margin of losing. John Schreiber coming in and giving up 2 earned runs and only recording 1 out was the difference maker. That was arguably what put the final nail in the Royals' coffin tonight. All of that. And let's not forget Walter Pennington, the much talked about relief pitcher up in Omaha, having a stellar season. Not like your ideal prospect guy, but not every major league player was a prospect, quote unquote. Well, he comes up in his hometown MLB stadium in Coors Field, and he gets the job done. He has traffic on the base pass, doesn't matter. Gets 2 quick outs. The first batter he faces, it's a strikeout. And just like that, he starts off his major league career on a good note. So all in all, this is how the pitching broke down. If you're having trouble tracking that, Ragans, 7 innings, 2-run ball, 3 walks, a good amount of wild pitches, 4 tonight, which, like, that's let's not get it twisted. That's not good either. But it only resulted in 2 earned runs. You know what I mean? And one of those earned runs was the home run. So kind of put an asterisk on it. All in all, I thought this was a stellar start from Ragans. He battled back multiple times. He reared back and put the fastball in the zone when he needed to, and he really rebounded later on in the start. John Schreiber comes in behind him in the 8th. Only records 1 out, gives up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, walks a batter, and only strikes out 1. His ERA is up to 4.46 on the season. And then Pennington behind him. 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Starting off his MLB career with a perfect goose egg of an ERA. Pitching staff combines tonight for allowing 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, and 10 strikeouts across 8 innings. Not bad. Like, I don't like Schreiber doing what he did. Let's not get it twisted. And unfortunately, we're going to hear manager Matt Quatraro stand up for him. And I get it. That's his guy. But this isn't a one-off thing. This has been a lengthy run of high leverage meltdowns from John Schreiber. Okay, it feels weird using this as an example. We've seen Will Smith bounce back from his early season meltdown and be serviceable, but that came after Smith was bumped down the pecking order coming out of the bullpen. He started off as the closer, the de facto guy in the 9th inning. Well, you're coming in low leverage situations. You got to get your shit straight. I think Schreiber needs to get his shit straight in the bullpen. And Quatraro needs to recognize that. I hope he does. I hope that he is just protecting his player in the court of public opinion and saying what he can say. Please, please, please let your actions speak otherwise. I'm begging you. All that being said, 4 runs is not an insurmountable amount. All right, this lineup combined for 10 hits tonight. 10 double digits. They only scratched across 2 runs? What the heck, guys? Freddie Fermin had a perfect 3 for 3 night. Also drawing a walk in the process. His batting average is up to 303 on the season. Good job there, Freddie. Let's start off on the top. Michael Garcia back in the leadoff spot. 1 for 5 tonight with that final ground out to close out the game. Bobby Witt Jr. had another multi-hit effort. Came across home plate once. And then Vinny Pasquantino had a 2-hit night before Kyle Isbell pinch ran for him in the 8th inning. Salvador Perez, he drew a lot of ire this game. Rightfully so, I think. It was him who had 2 runners left in scoring position with 2 outs. He had 4 of the... There was only 4 opportunities there. Renfroe had 1, Michael Garcia, Salvador Perez had 2. Salvador Perez didn't... he got 1 run in. He did. But there's another prime opportunity that was left on the table. Hunter Renfroe, hitless tonight with a strikeout. Nick Lofton had 1 hit tonight. Garrett Hampson had an RBI, got that on a fielder's choice, and then that penultimate strikeout. And then Dairon Blanco got the start in left field tonight. I love the speed. But now we're back in we got to figure out, do we need both Hampson and Blanco on the 26 man? I think just Blanco he's brutal at the plate right now. He started off the season really strong by getting on base and letting his speed shine on the base paths. Well, right now he's just not even getting on base. it has been a real slog for him. His last 15 games, a 148 batting average with a 179 OBP. He has 6 stolen bases in that span, only 4 hits. It's just, shoo-wee. Absolutely brutal stuff from the Cuban. What are we going to do, folks? Like, all in all, Kansas City is still 48-42. They're still 6 games above 500. But every time I'd fire up social media or I'd sit down and try to think about something to talk about regarding the Royals, I am trying to not only convince the listeners, the readers, that the Royals should be buyers at the deadline, but right now I'm trying to convince myself. Because if this was a one-off, I would not be very happy at all. One of the worst teams in Major League Baseball just beat the Kansas City Royals. And the Rockies they're hot, you know, they're in a good stretch right now, getting some guys back, they're performing well, they're back at home. But still, the Royals had their stopper on the mound tonight. They had Cole Reagans on the mound tonight, and he did his part. It was his surrounding cast that couldn't get it done. I love Freddie Fermin. I really do. But we shouldn't be relying on him going 3 for 3 at the plate every single night to get stuff done. You know what I mean? Just a very disappointing showing. And I know I said it before. I hope they shower this one off. I hope that they remember that they're the Kansas City Royals. I hope that they remember what they did in April and May. But all I can do is hope right now. Because the results, they're not telling me that in the slightest. Coming up on the other side of the ad break, I know we will hear from manager Matt Quatraro. I know that for a fact, thanks to Bally Sports Kansas City. Now the question is, will we hear from shortstop Bobby Witt Jr.? I am glad that he is getting a little bit more vocal, no matter the wins or loss. We will also hear from the man of the hour who made his Major League Baseball debut tonight, Walter Pennington, so stay tuned for that.
7 innings, saved the bullpen, had good stuff, dealt with some adversity, bowed his neck, was able to get through it, and give us, leave the game tied and go into the 8th.
With that home run call, what was the explanation there after the review?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what the explanation was, and whatever it was, it's going to be a bad explanation because there was clearly fan interference. There's no chance that it should have been called anything else. We have a system that is, I don't want to say the system's broken, but that was a mistake.
Have you had a chance to even review it out here, or is it just going off what you saw on the scoreboard?
I have not gone to look at more video. That was about as clear as I needed to see.
How frustrating was it in the 5th inning to get a leadoff triple for Mike Kelly and not get that run cashed in?
Yeah, we have to be able to seize that opportunity. Freeland threw the ball extremely well, and when we have an opportunity, we knew already at that point it's going to be a low-scoring game, and we have to be able to execute there.
Reagan said 4 wild pitches. What did you see with those? Was there something off, or was it miscommunication?
No, I mean 3 of them were in that same inning. I'm not sure if they were sliders or what the pitch was, but they were tough hops, and a couple of them just kicked off enough. But yeah, it's unusual. Freddie does a great job of blocking, and 3 in 1 inning is very unusual.
How impressed were you with Walter Pennington coming in that spot and retiring the side?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, we know he throws a lot of strikes. We thought he would control his emotions and, be able to execute, especially to a lefty. He's been really tough on lefties, and I was proud of him for the way he handled it.
Sharper's been pitching a lot of high leverage innings for you guys, but he's obviously been struggling a little bit. What's just the confidence level in him there, and what have you kind of seen from him over the past few months? Last month?
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's a ground ball pitcher, right? And sometimes those ground balls go to people, and other times they don't. And tonight they hit 2 back up the middle, and got us in a difficult spot. Johnny's going to pitch high leverage for us, and we have a lot of confidence in him. And he needs to know that. He does know that. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep running him out there.
Moving forward, too, confidence levels high in him.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be a big part of what we do if we have success here.
What were you seeing from Freeland that was keeping you all from scoring, was keeping you all off balance, even though some traffic was on there?
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to pitch. I mean, he used his 2-seamer, he used his 4-seamer. He executed some changeups below the zone when he had to. He's a good pitcher.
Just like to act like it was just another day. It's the same game, same distance from the rubber to the plate. Just a lot more people. But I try not to focus on that.
When did it hit you that you just, pitched a scoreless outing and got your first MLB strikeout in your MLB?
When I came back to the dugout, and that's when you said, "You're done, enjoy it." I could just take it in and relax. So I think then.
Were you able to relax a little bit after that?
A little bit. All I could do was smile.
I know you mentioned pregame that you wanted to touch the grass, and how was that just to go out there and touch that grass and just feel like you did it?
It's awesome. Like, again, going back to the dream started here, and we're completing it now, and it's just the beginning now. But also not going too much into it because it's the same game. Just focus on pitching.
How'd you attack that first hitter, the lefty, and as you manage your emotions, talk about the same game, but just going about attacking him?
Mm-hmm. So I'll go at him with my best pitch, slider, and then keep him on his toes with the sinker in, and then try to get his eyes back in, and then attack him back out for the strikeout with the slider.
What are you going to do with the ball? I saw the guys throw it back into the dugout.
I don't know yet. Probably let my wife deal with it.
You needed just 8 pitches to get through the outing. It looked like everything you were planning was working for you, right?
Mm-hmm. A little bit of debut magic, you could say.
Were you able to see your family at all in the stands? Or I know it was loud out there, but just knowing that they were there?
No, but I heard a couple people in the bullpen yelling my name. So to all you out there, I did not ignore you on purpose, but I wanted to be locked in, so thank you.
Any advice that you got from the other relievers as you guys were waiting out there for their phone to ring?
I think the biggest thing they just kept reiterating was have fun. Don't read too much in the scouting report. Just do what got me here, and that's what I did tonight, and it worked.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me tonight, folks. Another exasperating affair, to say the least. Let's get to y'all's Spotify Q&As. Thank you, everyone, for responding to last night's Royals recap. Starting off with K-Stater74 saying, "Keep up being aggressive. They're going to win more games if they stay aggressive." Well, unfortunately, they weren't aggressive tonight, i.e. Garrett Hampson's bunting performance in the top of the 9th inning. Christopher Palmer says, "Tough series to lose at home, especially coming off the Cleveland series. They fought till the end, but time to move on and focus on Colorado." Yeah, still waiting on them to focus on Colorado, Christopher. MK says, "The 8 runs were great, an easy recipe for success with the pitching we've normally gotten, but that's why they play 162 games. Yeah, I'm still with you there, MK. I'll be the first one to say baseball is a marathon for a reason. It's not it's not 17 games like the NFL. One loss and one win isn't going to determine how the rest of your season goes. But they sure do affect the whole outlook on the team, I will say that." And lastly, Fistifer says, "I wish Bobby would not have been caught stealing, but I like how aggressive Q has been. We could be in first place if our bullpen was better." And yeah, I'm waiting on some stats to populate, but just the Royals are firmly in the cellar with their bullpen. Not cellar as in you're selling a house, as in cellar, as in basement, as in dank, dark, the bottom. That is where the Royals bullpen is right now. All right, I'm going to get on out of here, get on with my Friday night. I am Jacob Milham. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you want to keep up with more of our shenanigans, you can do so on social media, or you can just make sure to follow the podcast wherever you're listening. It really supports us. Plus, you make sure you never miss an episode of the Royals Rundown podcast. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, go Royals!